More than 3,000 members of the Shia Hazara community have been killed since September 2011, according to reports.
Hundreds of Iraqi pilgrims arrive at the house of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi.
On Saturday, the Saudi authorities executed 21 people on other charges.
Taliban abusing humanitarian aid in Afghanistan.
Shia Rights Watch expresses its condemnation on the targeted bombings in the Iraqi capital Baghdad.
There is so much happening that now is the right moment to bring together the biggest stories in one place at one time. It's ambitious, it's a first for the Shia around the world. Join me, Ayoub Nueno, for Shia Waves, live only on Imam Hussein TV free.
السلام عليكم. أنا اسمي حمود، أبويا ميت. بشر.
شنو اللي تريد؟
وأنا أريد فلوس ومعايدة.
لا تبكي.
عندهم مرات واحد يفتح لي الباب ما بي فجعة ما بي، أنا أبوي كسر ظهري لسه غصته بقلبي.
بعد يومين وصل بي من السرطان توفت. يعني يرجع هنا يعني يشتري لنا هدوم بالعيد، يعني هدوم والديك السنة.
لا غسالة، لا جيزر، كل شيء ما عندي. هاي الرطوبة وهاي الطينة، كل شيء ما عندي، واليوم طحينة ما عندي. اليوم 10 طحين ما عندي شاهد الله شهادة.
هاي محروقة من ورا الكهرباء. ما عندي كهرباء، ما أقدر من الجواري، ما عندي كهرباء. ويومي يهدد بي راح يقطع هذه.
غسالة ما عندي، جاب لي واحدة غسالة طلعت عاطلة، التلفزيون مالتهم عاطل، الحمام ما عندهم يغسلون به، ما عندي كل شيء، أنا حايرة بيهم والله العظيم.
شنو تحاجي؟ شنو تودي له رسالة؟ شنو تسولف وياه؟
بس أريد يجي.
بس تريده يجي؟
For those of you who are watching, whatever you can give, you know, whether it's £50, £20, £10, £5, whatever you can give, please give to help people like this so that they can improve their life standard, they can become more healthy and they can be more motivated to go and, you know, achieve greater things.
Generosity doesn't need an audience, it just needs a heart willing to make a difference in silence. Donate now.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to Ahkam SOS, the show that discusses Islamic duties and practices. This is a live show where we're taking your questions. So if you have a question you'd like to ask, please send it in via the WhatsApp number there below. You can scan the QR code in the corner. If you're watching on Facebook Live or YouTube, you can send in your questions in the comment section, and inshallah the technical team will send them to my iPad and we'll be able to answer your questions. If you'd like to call in, 0203 515 0199. Or if you're watching outside of the UK, you can call the WhatsApp number below and the technical team will get you through to us in the studio. I'm your host, Mohsin Shia, and joining me is Sheikh Ali Ma'ash. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
How are you doing, Sheikh?
Alhamdulillah, fine.
How was your Eid? You know, last Monday's episode, we were celebrating Eid. There was a lot going on. Did you manage to have some family time? Did you go
Yes,
out
indeed.
anywhere?
We had some family lunch, alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah. Very nice. Sheikhna, it is our final episode for this season. Like always, we break just before Muharram, so that people can focus on the tragedy and the azar of Abu Abdullah Hussein alayhi salam. And I wanted to ask you for the final time, do you have any hadith or any knowledge to share with us for this final episode of this season?
إن شاء الله تعالى. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين. As we're approaching towards Eid al-Ghadir, this grand Eid of Allah Azza wa Jal, Eidullah al-Akbar, as it known. Of course, it's a well-known narration of the Eid al-Ghadir, Hadith al-Ghadir, a famous hadith, mutawatir hadith, in the Shia circles and the non-Shia circles as well. Alam Amin rahmatullah alayhi wrote a book and compiled this book known as Kitab al-Ghadir. All his sources were from the non-Shia Sunni sources, in which confirms and affirms that the event of Ghadir took place between Mecca and Medina in Hajjat al-Wada', and Imam Ali alayhi salam was appointed officially by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam as his vicegerent and Khalifa after his death. And the famous, quote that "Man kuntu mawla fa ali mawla" was also mentioned. Ahl Sunnah narrate, like Ahl Shia as well. So hadith I would like to mention about the importance of the imamah in general, and how it is risky for the one to take it lightly and ignore the imamah, which is from Allah Azza wa Jal. This is a hadith Ibn Abi Ya'fur, one of the Imam, Sadiq Salamu alayhi, Ashab, he asks the Imam this question. Or he actually receives the answer, in other words. He says that I heard Imam Sadiq saying, ثلاثة لا يكلم الله يوم القيامة. Allah Azza wa Jal would not talk to three individuals on the day of judgment in Qiyamah. Number one, of course, وَلَا يُزَكِّيهِمْ, and he would not bless them, he would not forgive their sins. Number two, and وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ, and they will have a severe punishment. Number three. Three types of, let's say, punishments, physically and spiritually, for those who have this attribute. ثلاثة لا يكلم الله يوم القيامة ولا يزكيهم ولهم عذاب أليم. So who are these three individuals? Number one, من ادعى إمامة من الله ليست له, the one who claims to be an imam, a leader, a khalifa after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but it doesn't belong to him. In other words, he claims a forged caliphate, a forged imam after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which he never appointed or assigned this person to be his khalifa or the imam after his departure. Number two, وَمَنْ جَحَدَ إِمَامًا مِنَ اللَّهِ, and the one who rejects and refuses an imam who was appointed by Allah Azza wa Jal through Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And of course, the Ghadir was a very famous event in which Allah ordered Rasulullah to appoint Imam Ali as his vicegerent and khalifa. And number three, وَمَنْ زَعَمَ أَنَّ لَهُمَا فِي الْإِسْلَامِ نَصِيبًا, and the one who claims that those two individuals who claim the Khilafah after Rasulullah have something of Islam. In other words, they are Khalifat Rasulullah, they are blessed, they are rightly guided caliphs. These three individuals would not be looked at on the day of judgment, number one. In other words, straight to hellfire, na'udhu billah, to Jahannam. Number two, they would not be given any kind of forgiveness and blessings. Number two. Number three, they will have a severe punishment as a result, and their fate will be in hellfire, na'udhu billah. So the wilayat of Ali alayhi salam is very important for all Muslims to follow. Otherwise, they're going to be in trouble, and they'll be asked about the wilayat of Ali alayhi salam in their grave and on the day of judgment.
Thank you very much, Sheikh. Just a quick reminder to all the viewers that the phone lines are open. You can call in 0203 515 0199 if you have a question. If you're outside the UK, you can use the WhatsApp number. You can WhatsApp us. You can scan the QR code. WhatsApp in your question. If you're watching on Facebook Live or YouTube, just put your questions in the comment section, and inshallah the technical team will send them to me. And I have questions here, Sheikh. Now, with your permission, can we begin?
Bismillah.
Is the drink kombucha permitted? Sheikh, kombucha is a tea drink. It is fermented, and I think it does have small amount of alcohol in it, maybe 1% or 0.5%. Sometimes it's called kombucha tea. Is this halal for us to drink?
What ulama discusses about drinks which has intoxicating or alcoholic substance that would be forbidden to consume. Other than that, in terms of the alcoholic, let's say that we see alcohol in products, in beauty products, for example, shampoos, soaps, or even medicines, that would be allowed.
Yeah.
According to some ulama, that up to 2% you can use. Otherwise, you have to mix it with water if it's more than 2%. If it's non-intoxicating alcohol, very important.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. If I miss previous Eid prayers or Salat al-Ayat, do I need to pray qadha for them? Jazakallah khair.
In terms of Salat al-Ayat, if you missed it and it was full, let's say, eclipse, then there's a qadha, not for the partial. For the Salat al-Eid, I haven't heard anything about qadha Salat al-Eid.
With Salat al-Ayat as well, Sheikhna, is there, if there's an eclipse anywhere in the world, or only if you can see it from your horizon, in your sky?
Yeah, in your region, basically, yes.
Any region, doesn't matter?
In your region.
Oh, in your region. Okay.
City or village.
All right, okay. So you have to see it, or it has to be in your area for you
or
to...
you've been told about it. You may not see it at all, but you've been told about it.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. What is the hukm about euthanasia? When a person is irreversibly ill and is about to die, should we try to keep the person at all cost alive or give up at some point? Sheikhna, we can keep the body biologically alive, but we can't keep the brain alive. For example, if you put someone on a life support machine, there's something helping the heart to pump the blood around. There's something helping oxygen to come in and out of the body. The body's not going to decay because it's still alive. It's still pumping this and that. However, the brain is shut off. The brain is dead. This person cannot think anymore and has not got a consciousness. Do we turn off the switch? That, okay, you know what? He's not going to come back. This person is just, he's biologically alive, but he's actually clinically, he's dead. So what is the hukm on this?
The hukm is very clear that you're not allowed to take someone's life as long as they are still alive. I think there's a verse or narration that which says, do not kill yourselves. So we're not allowed to kill ourselves or someone else's life.
Yes.
Because Allah Azza wa Jalla, Allah takes the life and of the one, there's the ajal, maktub, there's a written duration for the lifespan of somebody else, someone, ala kul hal, that he will die on this day, on this hour, on this second, for example. So it's in the hands of Allah Azza wa Jalla.
From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. I know what Umar bin Khattab negatively did, but what were the worst things Abu Bakr did and Uthman did? So many Shias are very familiar with the crimes that Umar bin Khattab committed against the Ahlul Bayt. But what about Abu Bakr and also Uthman? What crimes did they commit against Amir al-Mu'mineen and the Ahlul Bayt?
I mean, you'll find these things in the books of Ahl Sunnah, especially the Sahih of the Sunnah. For example, in Sahih al-Bukhari, you'll find this. I just mention one source and then you can go back and research. That in Sahih al-Bukhari, this narration is mentioned that Fatima alayhi salam, the Prophet's daughter, sallallahu alayhi wa she passed away while she was angry on Abu Bakr.
Yes.
ماتت وهي واجدة على أبي بكر. It's in Sahih al-Bukhari.
Yeah.
So for a daughter of Rasulullah, the best of the women of the world, to die while she's angry on Abu Bakr, this is a big issue. And if Fatima gets angry, the same Sahih Bukhari mentions in a couple of pages before or after that Fatima, Allah would be pleased if Fatima is pleased. إن الله لا يرضى لرضا فاطمة ويغضب لغضبها. And if she gets angry, Allah would get angry. So if Fatima was angry on Abu Bakr, means what? Allah is angry on Abu Bakr. So what would be the fate of Abu Bakr as a result? From Sahih Bukhari. You can calculate and find a conclusion for it.
And what, Uthman?
Same thing with Uthman, of course. I mean, he brought the biggest crime that he brought Bani Umayyah in power.
Into power.
Yeah, his cousins and others, sadly.
From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Is it permissible to work in the police department as a police officer or a soldier in a European country? Jazakallah khair.
After the invasion of Iraq, some brothers wanted to join the army or to translate for the troops who came to Iraq. So they were told to go and ask permission from their marja. So for such jobs, you need to go back to your marja and ask permission.
Right. From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum Sheikhna and brother. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. When we share our problems or emotions about any person or any issue with our parents, is it called backbiting? Thank you.
You see, backbiting is to talk about someone's back in their absence negatively, in which he or she would...
to expose their faults.
Exactly, yeah. They have some secrets, you know it, and you expose it, for example. That's ghiba.
Yeah.
But anyhow, in disputes, one should see and judge, where can I talk and say, maybe there's somebody who is in the middle who can tries to solve the issue. Let's say an elderly in the community tries to liaise between, let's say, the husband and the wife who are separated now, and or let's say between a son and a father, for example, or a daughter and a mother. So it depends on the individuals who have the influence and the effect.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum Sheikhna. Is abortion permissible in Islam, or special cases in which abortion is quite necessary? Jazakallah khair.
Abortion is forbidden, absolutely forbidden, unless the life of the mother is
in jeopardy,
in difficulty, and she could lose her life.
Yes.
In this case, to protect the life of the mother would be the priority than protecting the life of the fetus or the child.
More questions coming in, mashallah. If you guys have a question you'd like to send in, please send it in via WhatsApp, YouTube, on social media, or your number should be there at the bottom. WhatsApp, scan the QR code, I'll take you straight to the WhatsApp page. YouTube, Assalamu alaikum Sheikhna. How can we ease our journey to the day of judgment and the life after death? Jazakallah khair.
Initially, by implementing all the obligatory acts, make sure that you don't miss anything. And this needs knowledge. You have to seek knowledge by going back to the books of the rulings to see what is wajib, what is obligatory, try to implement it, and to refrain from the evil acts. Because what makes us far away from the akhirah and the blessings of the hereafter is our sins. That's why we're scared from the death, because we have lots of... There's a narration, I think, by one of the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where he said to someone that you're scared of death because you built your dunya and demolished your akhirah, your hereafter. You built your worldly life, and you demolished your hereafter. So that's the problem. So we have to mend and amend and adjust and rebuild our life in the akhirah, in the hereafter, by taqwa, piety, as I've said now.
From YouTube, what can I do to perform? What can I do if prom is compulsory for my child in school? There's no way prom is compulsory or anything is compulsory for your child. They can stay. But Sheikhna, if the school is forcing my child to go to a school dance or something like that, what can I do?
I mean, one should talk to the head teacher of the school, bring a letter from let's say a community center, in Islam community center, your local mosque, for example, your Maulana, who has official office recognized by the government, for example, to try to explain the situation, because it's forbidden for the one to join music and dance classes, especially if they're baligh. Let's say a girl, she's 11, 12, for example.
From YouTube, can we join military if there is a chance of 70% I will die?
As I've said, in terms of joining governmental positions, especially in military and so forth, police and so forth, you have to ask permission from your marja.
Assalamu alaikum Sheikhna. How to join Hamza and how to do... Hawza probably. How do you join Hawza and how do students get paid? That's from YouTube.
In terms of the Hawza, you have to travel basically.
Najaf, Qom.
Najaf or Qom, for example, and you have to apply for the residence visa.
Yeah.
You have to have all the official paperwork done, so you can stay at least a year there. And then you find a house, you apply to that house to be able to start your studies. So it's a bit difficult journey, but it's worth it. After 5-6 years, you'll find yourself in a position, inshallah, either lecturing or teaching, nurturing students, or becoming as a researcher, for example.
From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Are men allowed to do BBL surgery on women even if they wear gloves? Okay, so Sheikhna, BBL is where they are adding volume to parts of the body, but this one is the actual, the buttocks, the back area. So can a man apply and, you know, treat that area of a lady?
You see, if there's a need, if there's an ailment in which needs surgery and operation, initially you have to go back to the same gender surgeon and doctor to do these operations. If not, if the opposite gender doctor is more experienced, more knowledgeable, in such exceptions one can go back and seek the expertise and basically have the operation. As I've said, if it's needed, so it's like cancer or that kind of illnesses in which you need experts to be able to perform this operation.
Fair. From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Are forms of government such as democracy or communism compatible with Islam?
You see, Allah says in the Holy Quran, "Inna dina 'inda Allah al-Islam." The only religion which is accepted, or the creed or the doctrine, is Islam. Other than that is batil, is false. But of course, Islam would allow for others, as Rasulullah did sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his time. There were Jews in Medina, Christians, Nasara Najran, outside Medina. Mushrikeen were living, communicating, buying, selling. You know, there was some kind of ethnic minorities living around the Medina, and they had the freedom of trading, of living, studying, I don't know, merchandise, and so forth. But it doesn't mean that they're on the right path.
Yes.
That's what Mubahala took place with the Nasara Najran, with the Christians of Najran. You know, bring your sons, we bring our sons, and then to see, and we do ibtihal, and then Allah's curse would be on the one who is a liar. So yes, as a manhood, as a human being is allowed to live peacefully, but of course Islam would be the perfect religion, and as the Quran said, the only religion that would be accepted is Islam, of course.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. From YouTube, what is the reward for someone doing ziyarat of Imam Hussein alayhi salam on the day of Arafah?
Yes, we have a narration, I think you'll find in Kamil Ziyarat, that they would be, in terms of the importance of the Zawar al-Hussein on the day of Arafah, would be taken care of by Allah Azza wa Jal, and then the Hujjaj Baytullah al-Haram. So there's some kind of fadl given and blessing given to the Zawar al-Hussein salamullah alayhi on the day of Arafah, and then the Hujjaj of Baytullah al-Haram in Arafah.
From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Karbala or Mecca, which is holier?
Of course, we have to go back to the narrations of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, and to see which one is greater and more blessed. And we have narration with regards to Karbala. Of course, Kaaba has its own holiness.
Its own merit.
It's the first house to be built. When the earth was created from Kaaba.
Yes. Oh wow.
Underneath Kaaba. Yeah, exactly. It was the starting point was from Kaaba. But don't forget that you have the body of the grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When the Quran says وَأَبْنَاءَنَا وَأَبْنَاءَكُمْ, Rasulullah says our sons, we bring our sons, Hassan and Hussein alayhi salam. So the blessed body of Hussein alayhi salam is buried in Karbala. So it has a great blessing. Even the khaki shafa or the clay of Karbala has so great blessing that in which to pray on that clay would have great means of reward. So we have to see the evidence from hadith of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in terms of which land has favor over other lands. And of course, we cannot judge ourselves and measure it with our measurements. No, Kaaba is Baytullah, is Qibla, is and such and such. No, we have to go back to the evidence. If the evidence says Kaaba is greater, we respect and we appreciate it. That Kaaba is the best and the greatest land Allah has ever created. If it's Karbala, then we have to stick with the Karbala. It's a narration.
Sheikh, now we're going to go to a short break. Join us after the break as we continue our discussion here on Ahkam SOS. If you have a question you'd like to ask, now is the best time to send in your questions. You can send your questions via the WhatsApp. Numbers there below. You can scan the QR code. If you're watching on Facebook Live or you're watching on YouTube, you can put your questions in the comment section and inshallah we'll be able to answer them after this short break.
I have a question regarding keeping pictures of scholars.
Is it permissible to plant trees by or over
Islam
the
established based on peace and non-violence?
Is it permissible to collect donations for charity projects from
Is it permitted to consume canned food imported from non-Muslim countries?
Is there an issue for men looking at non-Muslim women?
To have your questions answered live, WhatsApp us on +44 7415 092155.
For those interested in an Islamic law book by Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq Al-Shirazi, please WhatsApp the Ahkam SOS team at the following number to place your order today: +44 7415 092155. The Islamic law book, available exclusively in hard copy, contains religious questions answered by Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq Al-Shirazi. Order your hard copy today.
Yes, you can order your copy of Islamic Laws by His Eminence the Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq Shirazi by just sending in a message on the WhatsApp. The number's there below. Just say you're interested in Islamic law books and one of our team will get in contact with you. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna.
Assalamu alaikum.
Sheikh, we've still got loads of questions coming in and let us carry on with YouTube. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. I really want to go to Ziyarah this year. I want to know how to make tawassul with Imam Hussein and Abu Fadl Abbas ibn Ali and will reading Ziyarat al-Ashura 40 days, will my dua be accepted?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Yes, indeed, one can make this intention, and of course with the intention of the Ziyarat al-Ashura, you have 40 days start to recite the Ziyarah with the intention of the actual Ziyarah in Karbala. Indeed, we have to prepare the means for traveling. It's not just to make the intention and then you sit down. No, you have to actually apply for the visa, prepare the ticket, for example, now, because it's getting more expensive, for example, if it's for the summer, and Arba'in coming, or Ashura. So, yeah, plan for your trip as well, plus the Ad'iyah and the Ziyarah and Tawassul, of course.
From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Can someone sacrifice animals on Eid al-Adha if they have had them as a pet for a whole year or more?
I've read something about not sacrificing your own pets.
Okay.
Sheep that lived in your house for, let's say, a couple of days or weeks.
Yes.
Not to be sacrificed. I've read something like that, yeah.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. What is generally the best deed to perform in Islam? Charity, salah, feeding people? Sheikhna, what would you say?
We have different narrations that talks about different topics, to be honest. But I was listening to some lectures about the importance of akhlaq, having a good morals and conduct. One of the best features of a believer, that to show good akhlaq, ethics, to be able to attract others with a smile, with a, let's say, helping hand, let's say. That would be a great means of what is mentioned in the hadith of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, akhlaq. The emphasis on akhlaq. And that's why Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa was the best role model. وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. The Quran says, you possess the highest morals. خُلُق عظيم. Allah describes the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. It doesn't say you have the best prayers or the best fasting or the best hajj. Akhlaq, very important in Islam, that we show good akhlaq. Yeah.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Does listening to du'as have the same reward and effect as reciting the du'a yourself? I do not speak Arabic, so I usually listen to du'as instead of reciting them. Jazakallah khair.
Yes, definitely. I mean, reciting the du'a, listening to the du'a, to the Holy Quran, of course, it has the benefits and the blessing, inshallah.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, both. Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Salam.
Can we enter bathroom with Dhul Fiqar or Quranic or 40 Masumin written on jewelry?
I mean, what is important that it doesn't, number one, breach the sanctity of these holy names written. And number two, not to cause any impurities on it. I mean, I would usually take it off and go inside the bathroom.
Put it in your
as a
pocket.
safe side.
Put it in your pocket. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Does Islam accept democracy?
I think we answered last time about the democracy in the West, in which we can see that the West, in one hand, showing, for example, there were the human rights, animal rights.
Yes.
And then we see wars are waged in the Middle East.
Yeah.
And the weapons are coming from
the
West.
Yeah. From WhatsApp. If I play Zarat Ashura and I'm listening to it, but I'm not reading it with my lips, does this count as the same as if I'm reading it?
Inshallah, we ask Allah Azza wa Jal that He would give us, the thawab and the reward for what we intend. Because the hadith says, إنما الأعمال بالنيات. Our deeds is with our intention.
Yes.
Intention is very important, inshallah.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Beautiful beard, dear brothers. Thank you so much. And Sheikh as well, mashallah, has a very mighty beard too. Many scholars recommend wearing various stones on rings, such as Duri Najaf, Aqiq, turquoise, that's Faroza, I think.
Yes.
Hadid, and ruby. Ruby's Yaqut, no? I think.
Maybe, Yaqut, yeah.
What is the best stone to wear as a ring?
I think what's mentioned is Aqiq al-Yamani, the famous one.
Yes.
And the blue one, the Fairuz.
Faroza?
Yeah, Fairuz in Arabic.
Fair enough. From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Is it permissible to vote in the political elections? Sheikhna, as you are aware, the 4th of July is All American Independence Day bar. In the UK, we will be having a general election. Now, as Muslims and as Shias of Amir al-Mu'mineen, are we allowed to vote for political party, knowing that this party will have an effect on our say and our representation in Parliament?
I mean, the best thing is to go back to your marja and scholar's office in London and ask them, or let's say back home, or let's say in Iraq or Iran, and ask their opinion. That's the best option, because each will have their own opinions. I can't say, yes, you can, when your marja doesn't allow, for example.
From YouTube, Salam. Why do I get precognitive dreams? I've seen multiple incidences happening in real life, and I saw in my dream. I often see tribes of jinn or my late family telling me something that's going to happen. I guess you're very blessed, and maybe you might want to speak to a dream interpreter. We here at Ahkam SOS, we're not dream interpreters, so we can't help you, I'm afraid.
I mean, he can, or she can give sadaqah after seeing these dreams,
Inshallah, give sadaqah.
way.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. I really want to go to Ziyarah this year. I want to know how to make tawassul. We've answered this question.
Yes.
Inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you the opportunity to go and perform Ziyarah. YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. I tried avoiding sinning in school, but sometimes with my friends I accidentally sin once or twice in school. Can you give me some tips to avoid this?
I think he already answered the question. With my friends, you have to separate yourself from those evil friends. That in Arabic they call Sadiq al-Su. The evil friend is the one who is causing you to commit a sin.
Yes.
So one of the enemies of humanity is the evil friend. You have to distance yourself from the bad friends or the evil friends. That's the solution.
Ahsant. Just a quick reminder to all the viewers, you are watching Ahkam SOS, the show that discusses Islamic duties and practices. This is our final show of this season. We'll be breaking up and we'll be coming back probably in September time. We break up for the Muharram Arba'een period. So if you have a question you'd like to ask, send it in now. You can send it in via the WhatsApp number here below. You can scan the QR code. Or if you're watching on Facebook Live or YouTube, you can put it in the comment section. If you'd like to call in, 0203 515 0199. Or if you're outside the UK, just use the WhatsApp number there below. We've probably got a couple of minutes, 10-15 minutes left of today's show, and that will be it for this season. So get your questions coming in, and me and the Sheikh are here to help answer. From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. I don't pray every day, but I'm trying to. What do I do? Keep trying.
Just pray.
Just pray that you keep praying. Ahsant. Sheikh, for those who are trying, it's not easy. I was very lucky, and a lot of people in my family were very lucky, because I've noticed if the parents pray, the children will pray. And if the parents have established salah, the children will establish salah. So it's a habit. But for a lot of people, I've seen myself, my own family members, mother and father don't really pray, but they're trying to encourage the youth to pray. And it's not easy, and it's hard, and you have to create a rhythm, and you have to create a habit of praying. Sheikh, any tips that you have for our youth to establish prayer?
Just in general, the Holy Quran states with this regard, قُوُّ أَنفُسَكُمْ وَأَهْلِيكُمْ نَارًا. Protect yourself and your family from hellfire. If you reflect and ponder on this ayah, I think you will come to the conclusion that I have to obey the one who created me.
Yeah.
And he asked me only 17 minutes a day. Is it 17 rak'ah a day?
Yeah, 17 rak'ah a day.
Minutes a day from 24 hours of time.
I mean,
how much we're now spending time to watch Euro Cup 24?
I haven't watched any games, by the way.
I mean, hours and hours.
Hour and a half.
You got two games a day?
Hours, yeah.
That's about 3 hours?
Yeah.
17 minutes a day, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I remember there was a tweet on Twitter where they calculated a person who lives for 80 years. He's awake for this amount of time. He sleeps this much. He will work this much. He will rest this much. He will be waiting for this much. He'll be spending this much time eating food. He'll be spending this much time being ill, this much time enjoying himself, and so forth. And then it came to Salah. An 80-year-old man who has lived for 80 years only spends 6.5 months of his life in prayer.
In wajib prayer?
In wajib prayer. 6.5 months.
Interesting.
From 80 years. Mm-hmm. And then they said, which of these benefits and, things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made easy for you, will you deny? That, you made me pray, it's too much, it's too hard. But in reality, no, it's very, very simple and straightforward. One advice that I got, and I recommend to everyone, is you need to plan your day around the prayer. Mm-hmm. You can't see where your day is and see where you can put the prayer in your day. Yeah. It's the other way around. You have to plan what you need to do around prayer. You make time for prayer, inshallah, prayer will make time for you, inshallah. More questions coming in. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. From YouTube, can you tell the difference between akhbari and usuli, and is it obligatory to listen to whatever your marja says?
I think we mentioned something in the month of Ramadan and before that, in terms of just the brief differences that the usuli would believe in the four main sources of tashri', Quran and Sunnah and Ijma' and Aql, in which the Ikhwari wouldn't accept the Aql as a source, and Ijma' I think as well.
From WhatsApp, can we donate to streamers that doing haram stuff on the stream?
And one should not promote falsehood or corruption in overall. Not to promote it.
Yeah. So no, you can't. YouTube, is it haram for women to lead salah?
For themselves with the female same gender, that's fine. So a lady comes in the front, a mu'minah who is a believer, maybe within the community respected, alima, to lead, why not? To lead the sisters,
And this is separately from the men.
Exactly,
because sometimes they put like a board or like a divider, and the sisters will come join the jama'ah for the male. So if that's available, that's okay?
That's fine,
Okay. From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. If fear that Allah didn't accept my obligatory ghusl, should I do it again? Jazakallah khair.
I mean, make sure you don't fall into the obsessiveness or the waswas as mentioned. Because sometimes, as the Imam said, that this is shaitan who's playing with your mind. In other words, the madmun kalam, that the shaitan or the devil is trying to deceive you in your ibadah. That, I'm going to repeat my salah 3, 4, 5 times. I'm going to stand under the shower for an hour to do the ghusl, because I have to repeat it 5, 6 times. I have to repeat my wudu 3, 4 times. 20 minutes just on the sink to do. Make sure that you don't allow the shaitan to interfere and penetrate to deceive you through your ibadah. Very important.
It's actually, the shaitan can do waswas, and also those of you who suffer from OCD, Try not to let it play up. You know, most likely have a clean niyyah, do your best, inshallah that will be more than enough for your mal. From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum Shaykhna, why do Shias pray on a stone? Turba.
Because the Prophet's sunnah sallallahu alaihi was to pray on the ground of Masjid al-Nabi sallallahu alaihi when he established that masjid. That was the Prophetic sunnah, and the ashab prayed on the pebbles of the Masjid al-Nabi in Medina when they migrated to Medina. So that's the sunnah of Rasulullah. And whoever ignores it, he's against the sunnah. To pray on the expensive carpets and rugs today is against the sunnah of Rasulullah, because he never prayed on the carpet or rug in his mosque at all.
Ahsant. From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum Shaykhna. What is the fadila, best time to combine prayers? How many is there a lapse in minutes time after adhan?
As soon as you finish the noon prayer or the Maghrib dusk prayer, then that's it.
It's time for
you have
the following.
The Asr and the Isha has been
from YouTube. Shaykhna, can anyone above the age of 15 lead prayer, or are there specific rules?
I think there's mentioned in the books the rulings that conditions of the Imam. Adil, just, baligh,
of a halal
insane, not sane.
Sane. They have to have sanity. They can't be insane. And there's a couple more. Male, obviously Muslim,
exactly,
and stuff like that. From YouTube, what surah verses does it say about Shia and Sunni in Quran?
In terms of what?
I'm not sure. That's all it said. There are plenty of verses in regards to the Shia. I think the Quran addresses the Shia mainly. But if you could be more specific, inshallah, we'll be able to help you. From YouTube, can we do ghusl even if we aren't in Janub state and that it isn't Friday, and pray directly after without performing wudu again? So a mustahab ghusl, Shaykhna, can we perform it and pray straight away, or do we have to do wudu?
According to many ulama today, that yes, the mustahab ghusl which is mentioned, like the ghusl of the Friday, yes, according to some, of course, you have to go back to your marja and see and ask. You can do the ghusl and then pray after the ghusl without wudu. But some, like Ayatollah Shirazi, would not accept it, and he would consider only ghusl al-janaba, which is as a result of wet dream, ejaculation, or intercourse with the spouse. That would allow you to pray without wudu. So you can do the ghusl, and after the ghusl janaba, you have to basically not to do the wudu, you're not allowed to do the wudu, and then straight go and pray without the wudu.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum Shaykhna, what is the best tawbah for Allah to forgive a human for major haram sins that were committed in their lives, and how could they stop committing that sin after committing it over and over again?
We have something called tawbah nasuha, sincere tawbah and repentance. You have to reach that stage in which you have to quit. It's like somebody who is having, na'udhu billah, lung disease or I don't know, other diseases because of smoking for the past 30, 40 years. And they have to quit it. There's no way. Otherwise they're going to die in a couple of months, let's say. So to feel that feeling that it's going to cause you a huge amount of trouble in dunya and the akhirah. So always imagine that you're now in your grave. What's your answer to those two angels, Munkar and Nakir? So the best way is to have a sincere, regretful repentance that I won't do it again, and then ask Allah Azza wa Jal to give you the tawfiq to be able to perform all the wajib acts and refrain from the indecent and forbidden acts, inshallah.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum Shaykhna, is zanjir tatbir halal or mustahab or haram?
You see, ulama have discussed this issue many, many years ago, since Ayatollah Naini, the teacher of the ulama, like the teacher of the great grand ulama in the past, who passed away, that these are allowed because these are not severely harming reasons. Yes, what makes it haram is to cut one of your limbs,
or
to disable your organs, or to cause severe,
Permanent
let's say,
damage.
disease.
Yeah.
These are not allowed. Otherwise, if you want to say, I mean, you can't cut your, let's say, wound yourself.
Yes.
It's haram. Then how could you allow yourself to allow for half a pint of blood to be taken from your arm as a blood test? Isn't that harm? You're losing half a pint of your blood for any cause.
Yeah.
So the minor harms is not haram and forbidden. The major ones, as I've said, these are forbidden.
And His Eminence, the Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq Shirazi, Hafidhullah, says it is mustahab to participate.
And many ulama as well today,
the
if you go back.
Of, of the Azar of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. Final question for this season, Sheikhna. And it is, why do Shias hate Aisha and the Sahaba? I just want to elaborate here that the Shias, we do not hate the Sahaba. We love the Sahaba. We love the true Sahaba who followed the teachings of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and followed Amirul Mu'mineen Imam Ali alayhi salam. These are the Sahaba. The ones you're referring to, these are the thugs and the bandits of Arabia. But Sheikhna, why do the Shia, they don't like Aisha, who arguably murdered the Prophet, poisoned him, and also the likes of Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, who did many atrocities and crimes, not just only against Rasulullah, but against the Amirul Mu'mineen, his family, and also against Islam and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
You see, briefly, whoever neglect this hadith and Prophet's advice, which is a famous hadith, mutawatir in the books of Shia and the non-Shia, i.e. the Sunni books, that the Prophet left two weighty things, the Book of Allah and his family.
Yes.
Kitabullah wa itrati ahli bayti. Whoever sticks to them, upholds them, of course we respect him.
Yes.
And whoever rejects them, then we reject him as well. Whoever it is, the Prophet's wife or companion, or whoever is, even relatives, like Abu Jahl and Abu Lahab, Tabbat Abi Lahab. It doesn't matter, cousin, uncle, whoever who rejects the Book of Allah and the Prophet's family, we reject him, whoever it was.
Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And thank you to all the viewers for joining us on this episode of Ahkam SOS. This is the final episode of this season, and there will not be any Ahkam SOS for the remaining period until probably September time, after the Muharram and Arba'een period. We'd like to say thank you to all the viewers for joining us, and thank you for all the team background staff that have been helping bring Ahkam SOS to you guys here on Imam Hussein TV free. Inshallah, myself and Sheikh, we will be back after a short break for season 21 of Ahkam SOS, after Muharram and Arba'een, inshallah. If we have said something that has offended you, or we said we made mistakes and so forth, we do, say sorry, we apologize. But it is our duty to give you ahkam from our beloved Maraja and so forth, and we do our very, very best. Sheikhna does so much. He's researching so much. He's in contact with all the different offices and all the representatives to make sure you get the correct answer. So thank you very much, Sheikhna, for all of your efforts, and inshallah we'll be seeing you very soon on the TV screen here at Imam Hussein TV. Until then, please remember us in your du'as, and please have a very, very memorious and spiritual Muharram Arba'een period, inshallah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all your du'as and all your hajat and also all of your azah during this period. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام. لا أحتاج تحقيق عليك.
شنو اسمك؟
حيدر.
حيدوري، ما شاء الله. ايش قد عمرك؟ 12. ما شاء الله. هاي شنو؟
رياض.
وين حلو؟ زين.
جبل الخير. طير ما طير.
Yeah, he said he's here by himself. He's got no mother or father. Oh, look at Hayduri here. He's so happy with his toy. Last time he smiled like this. Who knows? Brothers and sisters, you can see the excitement here. This child may have a mental illness as well, ADHD or something like that. But here in Iraq, there's nothing to help them. there's nothing to give them service or aid them and assist them through these hard times. And on top of that, he's also an orphan. Brothers and sisters, with your donations, you can give children like this happiness, health, and education, and give them, most of all, a better future and chance at life.
Your support, their strength. Sponsor an orphan and witness the power of compassion.
With more and more victims of war and poverty, the Middle East has seen a surge in patients seeking medical aid. Iraq alone has 2.4 million people without access to any form of medical assistance. In Afghanistan, due to the lack of